that could have been bad. That could have been bad. Almost just ate it there in my own room. Jeez. This chair's slippery on this. On the bright side, we got a rug. So, that's half the problem. Half the problem is, the rug ain't a problem. It's actually the softest rug I've ever been on. But, it's really slippery. And, as you can see, I almost just absolutely ate it right there. So, good thing I didn't, because that would have been really awkward, and a really awkward start to, this double feature Underground Knee MMA show. What's up, everybody? As you know, it's Monday. It's what we gotta do. We gotta talk about the past weekend in mixed martial arts and UFC. I believe there was obviously Bellator on this weekend. Or not really weekend, it's on Thursday. And then I'm even talking about boxing. We're talking about boxing for the first time in this episode, on this channel, I think. But yeah, dude, life's good, man. We're doing a podcast right here. And then right to our right, it is 6:39 on a Monday, and we are in the third quarter of a Monday Night Football game. Ladies and gents, it doesn't get much better than that. We're not going to get that for a long time, especially this season. We're getting Monday Night double features all the time. And let me tell you one thing. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Even though if games don't, once this all blows over, stadiums are filled and such again, I wouldn't mind seeing some Monday night doubleheaders again. This is nice. I'm enjoying this. Thank you. Shout out to Roger Goodell. Nobody likes you, but he gives you a hard time. But, hey, you're doing something right. Making me happy. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. Got the microphone again. I'm looking dapper. I know, ladies and gents. I know. I got a new shipment of shirts in today. For, I believe I was 12. Giving out, I think 4 or 5 of them so far. Especially for the contest winners. I'll be back this weekend to dish those out. Zach Sims, Lex Scalette, and Demarion Washington, congratulations again. Yeah, so, things are looking good for the Underground 4. Yeah, my business cards back. I found them after a long time. Got some new shirts, and I've dished out. How many have I dished out today? Uno, dos, I think 4 or 5, and all people are pretty excited about him. Or 5, yeah. Shout out to my boy Matt. He posted on a story. He's repping it already. He gets it today, and he's repping it already. That's dedication. Shout out to my boy Jimbo, James Harris. You obviously saw him on the last vlog that gets uploaded yesterday. Go ahead and watch that video. It's a certified banger. You don't want to miss that one. He helped me in that video, so I gave him a t-shirt, man. That's just what you gotta do to be successful in a business, man. Maybe not money-wise, but, by your employees, man. That's all that matters. If you're a good boss, that really made no sense, actually. Now that I think about the connection I just said, that made no sense. I am so sorry. But now that's the point, if you come on the show, man, I like to treat you with a t-shirt because you helped me out, especially Jimbo. He literally did a ton of the work for me. He talked a lot for me. He did some of the pranks for me, so I just had to be the cameraman. And me being the cameraman is cool because I've got a vision of all my videos that I want to do, and so me being the cameraman makes it 10 times easier because I can visualize it 10 times better. But yeah, that's where we stand. Underground 4 is taking over. People aren't ready for this. As I said, I just uploaded a new video yesterday where me and Jimbo went and asked people around campus to hold our lizards. It's actually pretty funny. If I may say so myself, I genuinely think that it is hilarious. If it wasn't my video and I was just watching it, say Nelk did it, I'd be like, that's a funny video. That's quality videos right there. And I just happened to do it. So shout out to myself. Underground 4 repping, baby. Here we go. We're not stopping till we're on top, baby. Nelk boys, Danny Duncan, watch out. Steve will do it. Watch out, boy. Nah, I actually should watch out for them. They're on Fort Island right now. They've got me beat by 5 million followers, 5 million subscribers, whatever. Those kids are nuts. Those guys are my heroes. One day I'm gonna have a foreskin house for me, Andrew, Pac, and Vaughn on the bay in San Fran, and it's gonna be awesome. All because of my stupidity and my podcast. So help support me. Buy some merch. And we'll keep this thing going. Keep this train rolling, man. This will be good. It's a good little business. It's a side business. I'm a freshman in college, and I've got a business, so that's pretty sick. Anyway, let's get right into it, man. This is gonna be a two-part episode. This episode's gonna be a lot shorter than the normal Underground Fours. And then the next one will probably be the same length, maybe a little bit less, probably like 20 minutes piece. That's just because I want to spend a ton of time talking about Khabib Gaethje in that card. That's obviously this weekend. There's so much things to talk about, man, that I don't even know where to start with that. So many possibilities of the fight happening. It's such a huge fight. You've got the most dominant champion possibly of all time, even though it's only two title defenses. But, Conor McGregor, he obviously beat him pretty well. And Dustin Poirier, he obviously beat him pretty well, man. He shows no signs of wear and tear and downtime, But, this is one of those fights that, I'm pretty pumped for. I'll get into what I think, what I know, blah, 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 stuff like that, in the next episode, which is going to be, like, right after I finish this. So, stay tuned. But anyway, this past weekend, we had we had a Saturday night Combat Sports doubleheader. It was a pretty good doubleheader, too. We had that's probably really awkward in the mic. But we had a Combat Sports doubleheader. It didn't start off, but here's what I'm starting off with. We had Loma and Lopez. I'm not a big boxing guy. I think boxing's corrupt, and it's faded, and it's losing its steam because people are getting tired of how corrupt it is. Boxing, people say that the UFC's fixed and fights here are destined to happen. It's for money. Boxing, like, they could care less about the fighters, man. As long as, whether it's Golden Boy, Money Team Production, Mayweather Productions, Money Team, or whatever, Top Rank, all they want is their money. They don't care about the fighters. They don't care anything. As long as they get their money. It's the same thing with these stupid rematches that don't make any sense. It's the same thing with, it's annoying to see, like, all the top fighters fighting these low-level dudes who, when you're in the UFC, dude, if you're the champion, you're fighting the number one dude. And if you fight the number one dude a lot and you keep beating him, you're eventually just going to fight the champion in another division. With boxing, it's all corrupt. You have 7 different champions for one belt. And so you've got to combine the belts all the time. Like, come on, man. Just get one belt. One belt. That's all you need. But yeah, it was really tough to see Loma lose. I didn't watch the fight. I watched some of the highlights, and from what I read and saw, it seemed like first half of the fight, it seemed like Loma kind of it seemed like he took it off, I'm reading a lot of things that, that it went 1 through 6, Lopez, 7 through 11, Loma, and then Lopez took the 12th. I also saw a thing, and there's also a judge that scored 11-1 for Lopez, which, I didn't watch the fight, I'd probably be biased towards Loma anyway, so there's no way I'd score it like that, but boxing's corrupt, man. You can't give a 119, 109 card for that fight when there's another dude who gives it 116 and 112. It's the same thing, in UFC when somebody gives somebody a 30-27 card, then they give the next dude a 30-27. Like, dude, like, what are you watching, dude? Then I see some things on social media where the one ref, not the ref, the one judge is he's in his desk, typing on his phone, like, pay attention to the fight. That's why boxing's corrupt. This is why the judges are bad. This is why the judging in general needs to be changed. I spoke with Ian Uncle Creepy McCall 3-4 months, probably like 3 months ago. And that's what we talked about. We talked about how bad judging is. And how, people just get so heavily influenced by, it's a robbery, it's this, that. No, like, there's close fights. Like, for example, the John Jones-Dominic Reyes fight. That's a close fight. I scored it for John, 48-47. If you score that 49-46, what are you watching? There's no way. People say it's a robbery. The judging needs to change. They use a system for boxing, the mixed martial arts in general. I know I'm referring to back and forth, but mixed martial arts uses a judging format based off of boxing. They are two totally different things. One, you've got kicks being thrown. You get people taking other people down. You get people putting chokes in. Make people go tap, tap, tap. And the other one, all you're doing is hit people in the face and body. Like, I mean, sure, no, don't get me wrong. It's a lot more complex than that. I'm nowhere near a good boxer. But, MMA judging has to change in general. How's that going to happen? I don't know. I know Big John McCarthy's got a book out, talking about the judging and stuff. But something's got to change, man. Something has to change. Something's got to change. That 119-109 card, horrendous. That dude should never be allowed to judge a boxing or any combat sport fight again. Mark my words. Besides that, we had an awesome UFC card this weekend. I was at a concert, didn't watch it, rewatched it because I was so intrigued. I was so intrigued by the card in itself. Pull up MMA Junkie, best place to go for MMA news. You've got all the news, man. They're always first. Oh no, don't want schedule. Schedule, that's nice. That's a nice schedule, bro. Get some results. We'll pull this card up. What should I start with? Jun Young Park beat John Phillips. Stop giving John Phillips high-level wrestlers, dude. Like, that poor dude. Jeez. Dude can't catch a break. I said under Magomedov, he's looking good. Knockout in under a minute. Dude's a beast. Maxim Grishin, looking good. Jillian Robertson is, like, she's one of those people who, we don't really notice, like, all the time. But she's, like, I think she's got the most wins in flyweight history or something like that. Like, what? She's, like, ranked 15. I mean, like, that division's not garbage, but it's very top-heavy. She could very easily, 2 more wins, and boom, there she is. She beat a quality opponent in Apolina Abateo. Seemed to be a pretty straightforward judging, 29-28, 29-27, 29-27. Good for her. Didn't watch that fight. Jonathan Martinez beat Thomas Almeida. Seems like he's pretty happy with that fight. Good for him. James Krause, man. Let's talk about James Krause for a minute. The dude's a warrior, dude. The dude wakes up and just breathes greatness. Like, he took that fight in 2 weeks, and he busted his knee in first or second round. Busted his knee in the first or second round, and he just kept going. They don't make people like James Krause anymore, man. I went to UFC 247 in Houston, and the one fight fell apart. He stepped in on 24 hours notice at a completely different weight class. I think he's on a 5-fight win streak at welterweight too, which that's pretty insane, man. 5-fight win streak at welterweight. No, the one fight that he lost in Houston, that was at 185, which he never fought at. He's a welterweight fighting at middleweight. Stepped up. It's just what he does, man. Whenever the UFC needs somebody to step up, he steps up. And even like when I saw him fight, who did he fight? Nice. Jeez. Oh yeah, he fought a Trevin Giles, and like that ain't an easy fight by any means, dude. He lost a split decision that I thought he definitely could have took. But it's not a robbery; it's a close fight. James Krause he's a dog, dude. Jimmy Crute's looking really good, man. Jeez, is that a light heavyweight? Yeah. So let's pull up UFC rankings. I think Jimmy Crute is ready for, some good stuff, man. First round knockout, absolutely jawed him, dude. Clipped him hard, man. That was nice. There's so many fun fights at light heavyweight for him. He called out Nikita Krylov. I like that fight. Do I think they'll give it to him? No. I'd like to see them match him up with, Ryan Spann, OSP, and let's give him a top 15 dude. I personally think he deserves it, especially after a knockout like that. Yeah, light heavyweight's fun, and he could be a big part of why light heavyweight, is going to be a fun division. Like, if we look at the rankings on it, the entire division is really good. You got Jan Blachowicz, the thing I like about this division is nobody's dominant in the division, but everybody's good in the division. Like, there's no John Jones in this division anymore, but there's a ton of dudes who, if all the stars align, these people who you wouldn't think could win a belt at the world's toughest level could win a belt. Like Jan Blachowicz, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes, Glover Teixeira, Alexander Rakic, Yuri Prochazka, Anthony Smith, Volkan Oezdemir, Nikita Krylov, Johnny Walker, Misha Serkinov. You got Shogun Hua in the top 15, and OSP to round out the top 15. I mean, that's a pretty good division right there, if I may say so myself. And then after that, we had Jessica Andrade in her 125 debut, knock out the number one contender. I mean, she knocked out Caitlin Chukagian. No, Jessica Andrade, goes up in weight. I mean, what do we expect out of her? She's an absolute animal. And dude, I don't want to take a body shot from her, dude. She hits hard for a 125 pounder. Chukagian can take it. No, she was talking about retirement before the fight, and it's like Dana White says: if you talk about retirement, just hang it up. Because at this point, you're not dedicated to the craft. You're not dedicated to everything. So just hang it up, man. And I know she said she wants to start a family in New York or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. I don't really care to see her fight anymore. I saw her fight in Texas. She's obviously not, like, even if she is ranked number one, dude, she's not up there, man. She, like, especially in the all the women's divisions. I've gone over this many times. It's so top heavy. Jessica Andrade, if she fights Valentina, I mean, sure, maybe she could take it to a decision, but if it does go to a decision, it's a 50-45, 49-46 if she gets lucky decision over against Valentina. Valentina's just too good. Same thing with Amanda Nunes. She's just too good, man. Same thing with Zhang Weili. I mean, we see what we saw happen with Zhang Weili and Jessica Andrade. There's levels to the game. And, Jessica Andrade, is she going to be there at 125? I mean, sure, she could be top 3, top 5. But, is she going to take off champ? No. No one is. There's no one there's no one who's going to take over that division. That was actually her first, like, she came back kind of quick, especially after that fight with Rose. That fight with Rose is a banger, man. I'd love to see that be a trilogy, man. That's where we stand. And then we get the main event. This is importante. The main event. I watched this fight twice. 50-45, 100%. All 3 judges had it, 50-45. Thank you. We had Brian Ortega, and we had bold Brian Ortega, which I've met the dude. The dude is the most fluorescent, beautiful-looking man I've ever seen in my life. And when I saw he cut his hair, like, a part of me hurt in my heart for, like, a day. And, like, it still does, but, like, the more I look at him, the more I'm kind of like, I kind of mess with him, man. Donated to charity, good guy. Brian Ortega's a good dude. I don't care. I have him with Jay Park. He's a good dude. But this was not the fight we expected. I'm a big Brian Ortega fan. I'm a big TKZ fan. If I'm a betting man for that fight, Brian Ortega was what, plus 200, I think, or plus 160, plus 190, plus 200, something like that, when the fight started. And you've got Chan Sung Jung, TKZ, the Korean Zombie. What was he at, like minus 200 something? I'm not taking those odds with Brian Ortega, dude. It's his first fight in almost 2 years, and you've got the Korean Zombie, who's the thing about the fight is the main question heading in was gonna be, can Brian Ortega get Korean Zombie to the ground? He never really completely got him to the ground. He obviously got him in good positions. He took him down a couple times, but he never got a huge position. He tried attempting a couple of guillotines, slipped right out. The fact that Brian Ortega pieced up the Korean Zombie on the feet is the most shocking thing that, it's the most 2020 thing that absolutely could have happened. You've got Brian Ortega, dude, who, if you watch the dude fight, or if you know anything about the dude, if you know anything about fighting, his background is completely jiu-jitsu. Completely jiu-jitsu. He's a Gracie black belt. He's been training with the Gracies forever. He's got Kron Gracie, Henner Gracie, Hoist Gracie. He's completely a ground fighter. No one expected this to happen. Nobody expected Brian Ortega to absolutely piece up the Korean Zombie on the feet. It's surprising. It's still surprising to me just thinking about it. I'm super happy with Brian Ortega's performance. It's one of those fights where, me personally being a huge Brian Ortega fan, I've been a Brian Ortega fan since the Cub Swanson fight. I'm a little bit of a bandwagon, I know, but I met him before. Okay. Anyway, but I've been a huge Brian Ortega fan for a long time, and I met him back in Houston in February. He was a super awesome dude, nice dude, and I was super excited to see him come back for this fight, especially with all the animosity. Is that even a word? Is that how you say it? Or all the animosity that was being built with Jay Park thing and blah blah blah, this and that, and for Brian Ortega to come out there and be Brian Ortega 2.0, man, bald Brian Ortega, striking Brian Ortega, just completely different man. Who cares about who cares about the jiu-jitsu, the takedowns, the guillotines, man. I remember that flying standing guillotine, whatever you want to call it, against Cub Swanson. As soon as I saw he hit that, I was like, this dude's for real. I had no idea who the dude was. But regardless, here he is now. He deserves the next title shot. If you look at the 145 rankings, well, I'll pull them up right now. Look at the 145 rankings. It goes Alexander Volkanovski, champ, Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, Zabit, TKZ, Yair Rodriguez, Calvin Kattar. I'll stop right there. You've got Max Holloway, who he had the belt. He was dominant. He fought. He defended it 3-4 times, something like that. Lost Volkanovski in a close fight, and so they gave him an immediate rematch. Lost a razor close fight. So now people are talking about Max deserves another one. That fight was so close. He won that fight, but then you book Brian Ortega, Korean Zombie, and then you see Brian Ortega just absolutely do that on the feet to Korean Zombie, and if you're a fan and you know that is not even his strong suit, he pieced up the Korean Zombie at his backup suit. I think Brian Ortega moves up to 1. He's the number 1 contender over Max Holloway, even though Holloway pieced him up. I personally would really, really, really love to see Calvin Kattar versus Max Holloway. At this point, man, if you had Zabit and Yair, who were supposed to fight like a billion years ago, I think it's booked. I don't know what's going on with that fight. Who cares? But you have that fight. Have it be Ortega Volkanovski, and then the main event and the co-main event, do Zabit and Yair Rodriguez, and the winners fight, and the losers, I guess they can fight too. Predictions for a Volkanovski Ortega fight. Personally, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I still cannot tell you. I personally think, Max, obviously pieced up Ortega, but from the Ortega we saw 2 years ago in that Holloway fight to the Ortega we saw 2 nights ago, you wouldn't think that they're the same person on the feet. And Ortega, if he can take Volkanovski down, which I know, do you see the dude's legs? He's a former rugby player. His legs are huge. He should not be, I don't know how he cuts to 145. Dude's insane. But, if he can take him down, man, I would really like to see how Volkanovski's, how his wrestling holds up, how his jiu-jitsu holds up against somebody so high level like Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega's like a silent assassin. He's like a silent assassin. He's coming in. He's just gonna take Volkanovski's belt. I think he can shock the world. I think he can shock the world. But besides that, there's no number 1 contender. There's no number 1 contender. There's a number 1.5 contender in Max Holloway, and then there's a number 2 contender, Brian Ortega. Ortega fights a dude who people made a reasonable explanation, not in my eyes, in the Korean Zombie to get the next title shot, even without the Ortega fight. So now you got Yair Rodriguez and Zabit battling it out, and the winner of that is the number 2 contender in my eyes. And then if match Calvin Kattar with Max Holloway, it's the perfect fight. If Calvin Kattar can beat Max Holloway, he shifts from a dude who people think is legit to a dude who is legit. And if Holloway wins, that's a stepping stone for him to get his belt back. And there's so many good things at 145, man. Every division is stacked. That top 6 or top 7 if you count the champ is absolutely insane. There's a ton of fun stuff you could do. A Brian Ortega Volkanovski fight. If you're asking me predictions, man, I'm saying Ortega is even with him on the feet, and then he takes it, but he beats him with his wrestling. He beats him 48-47 on points. If you're asking me that, that's what I think. If you ask me whose striking is better, the Korean Zombie or Alexander Volkanovski, hate me all you want. I'm gonna say the Korean Zombie. Um, and if that's what if he could outstrike the Korean Zombie on the feet, what makes you think he can't do it to Volkanovski? It's one of those things where I know in fights, styles make fights. Doesn't necessarily go like that. No, doesn't necessarily go like in football where if Team A beat Team B, but Team C beat Team A, so Team B should beat Team C. It doesn't really work like that. Styles make fights. So, yeah, shout out to Brian Ortega, man. How do you do it? How do you do it? T-City, baby. Hold up. I'm going to try that again. Jeez, dude. Is that how you do it? T-City, baby. Triangle City. Brian Ortega, the king of 145, is back, man. He's back and better than ever. That's all. That's all I've got for this episode. I'm gonna break down the entire UFC 254 card in a separate video, just because I have so much to talk about and want a completely different platform. Because I'm so pumped, so pumped. I've been this excited for a fight since the Masvidal fight, which I know it wasn't too long ago, but I'm pumped, man. This is gonna be a killer fight. And, just keep rolling with me. Watch this next video. And, if you want to know about Khabib and Gaethje, that card in general, and you want to know what I think, what my genius mind thinks, what my analytical analyst genius mind thinks, then tune in to the next video. That's all the time we got for today. See you guys in like 3 minutes, probably.